The worst happened. Wriggled out of my hand and then hooked me. This was the first fish of the day, Sherry on a jig. And then the worst happened. Wriggled out of my hand and then hooked me. These are very sharp hooks, 2 assist hooks, only one of them hooked me. And it got buried right inside the finger. And I could feel the pressure of the hook against the bone inside.
Yeah, like deep.
The first thing, Jason put on gloves so the fish doesn't wriggle out. And then used these pliers to get rid of, to remove the trigger hook. This was a well-behaved fish. I mean, it wasn't wriggling that much it had just been caught. So something else was at play here, not just my luck. Once the hook was out of the fish, next thing was I didn't want to pull out any tendons by reversing the hook and using and getting the bulb hooked onto a tendon inside. So I had to push it through and get it to come the other side. The hook part with the bulb, work it out all the way through, and I could feel it on the bone. That's why the progress was taking time here. Ta-da! The hook was out and the bulb, so it was time to cut now the hook from the shank to remove the hook eye. Then Jason brought his pliers, cut off the shank. I made a very clean cut so that I could work it out by pulling it out from that side. This was painful. I think it was adrenaline. Success. Finally. If you look closely here, you can see the 2 ends of the hook. So now I had to just pull it from the sharp end, following the bulb so it doesn't rip through tendons inside. It was amazingly hard to pull this hook. It was like lodged on the bone, but it didn't go inside the bone. I think it was very uncomfortable for Jason to watch this. So he kept on moving to the back. Oh, what a relief. At this point, I was getting the hook out and it was moving. Ta-da! The ordeal had passed by. It was time now to just dress up the wound. Firstly, wipe off the excess blood, and then I did that using a cotton bud. So wipe off, dab off the excess blood and clean up the area. Second, get an alcohol swab. So I had to hold it close and press it in here so somehow the alcohol will go inside the wound. And then lastly, bandage. I'm putting pressure on it so that the wound stops bleeding. I had no idea jigs were this sharp, and I thought the danger had been gone when I let the fish go the first time, like drop it to the floor. But it swung around, and the assistants, one of them came and hooked me. I know there are other ways of taking out a hook, like for example, making a knot and then yanking it out from the shank side. But I thought of doing that, but it felt dangerous because the barb was buried deep into the fish. So I didn't want to do that. So I thought the best way is just push it through and then pull out cut it and then pull out the hook. And it worked